What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today we're going to listen to a white woman complain and say that she much rather live with black people than Mexicans. And she's talking all kind of shit about Mexicans. She really hates Mexicans. But she also hates black people. But she'd rather live with black people. Now, what she's doing is she's simultaneously disrespecting Mexicans, right? And black people, while also infusing her divide and conquer tactics within her disrespect, right? Because there are going to be some gullible black people and gullible white people who will look at this and say, yeah, I didn't hear any of that racist stuff you said about my people, but I did hear that compliment you gave me about how we're better than those people, right? Because there are some people who value the words of white people over their own people. And she knows that, right? Because her granddaddy taught her. But I want you to watch this and pay attention. And don't get offended by anything that she says, because this is what white supremacy looks like as it dies. All right, understand, when an animal is in imminent danger and it knows it's going to die, it's going to do everything it physically can to try to survive. And there's no rules to that. All right, and we all know white people don't operate within their boundaries of rules anyway. So, you know, with their oncoming demise, they're super extra about the no rules. They're going to say anything, do anything they can to further divide any other community, right, to continue to have them two fight each other while they try to figure out, you know, what they're going to do about their imminent demise. The imminent demise. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about this in the comments section, okay? Let's go.
Mexicans have taken all the middle class, blue collar jobs, middle class, all those jobs, those 45 to 50,000 a year jobs that most people can make a living on, school teachers, all of that. Blacks are now getting pushed out too. And you know what? If you ask me, I would rather live with blacks than live with Mexicans.
Well, first of all, let me say this. As a black person, I would rather live with Mexicans than white people. How about that shit? I would much rather live with Mexicans than white people. Because Mexicans, they throw bomb-ass parties, always got plenty of goddamn food and drinks for everybody. If you cool with them and they cool with you, it's good times all the time. All right? So I just want to throw that out there. I ain't with you. I ain't with you. I know what you're doing. I see what you think you're doing, but you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to get away with it.
I would rather live with blacks than Mexicans. Now, granted, this is coming from my perspective, where I grew up in very southern towns where everybody had a gun, towns where I know a person who burned a cross in someone's yard because that was a mud shark and she was dating a black and he went to prison for life. So people knew their places.
Do you hear this, white supremacist? She is pining on the glory days back when white supremacy was white supremacist. But it ain't white supremacist no more. That's why she's so mad. Why she's so mad? Why she's so upset?
Not to mention there's a bit more familiarity with these people. They have been here for forever. And if the laws were just enforced, and if most of them were imprisoned because most of them are criminals, and they realized there's a new boss in town, you've been off the chain for long enough, they would not be a problem and we could live in peace together. So
she basically saying she's more familiar with black folk than Mexicans, which don't make no damn sense because Mexicans got Native Americans and they most definitely, was here when they enslaved us and brought us here. But she like, look, if you niggas can still act like niggas, then we can get along, but the Mexicans don't want to act like niggas. So we can't get along with them. No, they're taking all our jobs and shit. Because, hey, Mexicans can go outside in the heat, right? That's why they take your jobs, because y'all motherfuckers can't do it. That's just a fact.
The Mexicans, there is no affinity. There is no sort of we can coexist, we can get along as long as you are not messing with our girls. You stay in your place, you stick with your own, you go to work, you be a good citizen, you work. I'll tell you what, as all these Mexicans come into my country, I feel way more of an affinity with the blacks.
Let me show you what white people are doing. This is called divide and conquer. You see, you got FBA, xenophobic, hateful African Americans, sponsored by Tariq Nasheed. Since he put that xenophobic, hateful riff, right? What happens is white people jump onto it and say, yeah, we white people, we in solidarity with you black people against those Mexicans. You mean those Native Americans who are indigenous to the land, who you white people who are indigenous to Europe came over here gave them all kind of diseases and raped, murdered, and killed their children and took over. Now you say that they're illegal in their own land? Yeah, okay. And now you're trying to divide Mexicans and African Americans because you want to take advantage of a rift in the situation that we got between each other to think to further divide so you can benefit? I don't think so, Slim. Not happening.
I see like the working class blacks and I'm like, honestly, there's no hate. Just don't commit a crime. Just stop with the behavior. Enough, okay?
White people live in a fantastical racist fantasy bubble, right? That has absolutely no goddamn foundation in reality at all. Hey, you Mexicans who want to be white, I hope you're paying attention. Because this white woman, despite all the ass you guys be kissing of whiteness, just said that you guys don't want to be white. Meaning all that effort you've been putting in to be racist towards black people, thinking that you won't get close to whiteness, they don't even see that shit. You're wasting your time and energy. I hope you understand.
Enough with the crime. If that was the case, we would have no issues. Just like in the 60s, they do their own thing, we do our thing. They've got their own stuff, we've got their own stuff. And there would be no issues. Mexicans, on the other hand, hate us. They have a historical hatred for us.
You think we don't hate you too? You think black folks don't hate you too? And you don't think Mexicans hate you for a good reason? You don't think there's a reason for it? You can't look in the past and see, maybe a couple, events that may occur that would make them not look at you in the most favorable way? I'm just saying. You can't see none of that, huh? You can see aliens. You can see the Loch Ness Monster. You can see Sasquatch. You can see seasoning in your food. But you can't see your racism, and your xenophobia, your hatred, your bigotry. You can't see your Neanderthal ways. You can't see it, huh? Okay.
Oh, because the evil whites came in and told them they had to stop eating people. And they had to stop sacrificing women and children and men that they caught.
Oh, she's talking about the propaganda that white people use in order to justify bringing their Christianity to other nations. She's insinuating that Mexicans were cannibals, the same way they insinuated that Africans were cannibals and Christianity need to come in and cleanse the area of all these savage barbarian demons. White folks do that shit all the time, even though we do know for a fact there was the white folks who were eating people because you thought you can gain the powers of us Africans by eating us. You also made shoes, pillows, couches, chairs from our skin after devouring our... Y'all had recipe books and shit like that. So what do you... Like, these are some seriously uneducated, loud mouth with their whole chest barbarian Neanderthals. And does the one drop rule still apply? Because, if just one drop makes you black, then since y'all got way more than one drop of that Neanderthal, does that not make you guys 100% Neanderthals? I'm just saying.
Man, what, those shitty whites, they came in and told us to stop butchering people. They came in and told us to stop eating people. They were so delicious, though. They have a deep-seated hatred and resentment for us, and they're smart, okay? That's the point to keep in mind. Blacks are, like I said, so you can deal with them. Okay?
Yeah, apparently black people are stupid. That's why we invented all the shit that she's currently using right now to be racist. And that's why we invented most of the shit that the planet uses for modern day conveniences. But yeah, we're stupid. You know what? Maybe we are stupid. Maybe we were stupid because we thought that you guys were humans. That's the mistake we made. We thought you were human, like us. That's how we're stupid. Other than that, I don't know. But apparently Mexicans are smart now. You see? That way you can tell a Mexican that they're smart. And the ones that didn't hear the fact that you've been disrespecting Mexicans the entire time will say, see, we Mexicans are smart and we're better than those blacks. That's the divide and conquer in your video. See, I'm slicing this motherfucking Wonder Bread up. She ain't got no crust on her bread at all.
Okay? They're going around slinging around guns. They're fucking retarded, okay? With a government that actually wanted to put them in place, they could put them in place in no time, in a week. The black problem would not be a problem because most of them would be behind bars and the rest of them would be minding their own business, watching the rest of them on the chain gangs as they plow and hoe and fucking pick up trash.
So basically, if they could re-enslave us, they would. And their agenda is to re-enslave us by another name. And they will elect someone who will do that via legislation, as they've gotten a taste of old-style white supremacy from their savage neo-Nazi president and his white supremacist administration. They're salivating for the day that they, the Europeans, are back on top, ruling and dominating over the world, especially those dragons, all right, who are their arch enemies, those Africans who they stole everything from, basically.
Whatever. Build fences. These Mexicans hate our guts, okay? I know someone else. She said she was at a church. She went to visit a church. Well, there was a whole Mexican section there. And a Mexican stood up and wanted to give a prayer request. And he said, true story, by the way, I want to pray for my cousin because he really hates the gringos. And I want him to know that that's not the Christian way of life. Your cousin lives in our country, motherfucker.
No. You live in their country. You live in their country. You're white from Europe. They're Native American. You live in their country.
You live in my country. Our country. You live in a white country.
Yeah, maybe that was true a while ago, but shit, we don't live in a white country no more now, do we?
You're taking a white person's job. You're taking the white people's taxpayer money in welfare. You're enjoying living in a house that a white person built and a white family used to live in.
White people built their house? I'm willing to put money that Mexican built their house. Mexicans and blacks. I'm pretty sure it was Mexicans and blacks who built their house. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm.
You're living under all of the blessings and the benevolence of white people. And you hate gringos? You hate white people? Well, then why don't you go down to Mexico? Why don't you go do that then?
If you don't like the way you're being treated by the native inhabitants of this land, I mean, you can always go back to where you come from, which is Europe. All right. You could take your little white ass. All right. You could take that shit back to that cold ass place you come from, Europe, if you don't like it.
These people hate you, and they are here to take your things. They play nice to accrue power. They pretend they play dumb to accrue power. All the movies portraying Mexicans like these sweet people. Do not forget the Aztecs.
Do not forget the conquistadors. Do not forget the British. Do not forget the Germans. Do not forget the white Jews. Do not forget the Polish. Do not forget the Irish. Do not forget all of you Europeans who have done everything you just said that Mexicans has done. Talking about the damn Aztecs. Y'all motherfuckers don't know nothing about the Aztecs. Talking about the goddamn Aztecs.
Don't forget those Spanish conquistadors who came with Cortez, who were captured and they were sacrificed up on the little temples.
Yeah, the Aztecs should have sacrificed all of them on those little temples. You mean those temples that were bigger than anything you Europeans ever built in Europe? You mean those temples that you couldn't recreate even if you tried with your modern day technology? Them temples you say, oh, little? Okay. All right, cool. Okay, keep going.
Don't forget that, please. So next time you think it's nice little Mexicans, just remember what's happening to UK, the UK will be happening here, but it will be Mexicans doing it. They behead people too. They torture people. They are masters of crime. Okay.
Hey, Mexicans, you gonna let these white folk call y'all masters of crime? Huh? You gonna let them talk to you like that? Keep in mind, these the people you want to be with, right? Y'all, these your folks, these your peoples and thems. You don't want to be over here with us? Y'all know we season our food. That's why y'all season our food, because we season our food. Y'all might as well just come on over here. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, blacks wish they could be that good at crime.
Is that a insult or a compliment?
Thankfully blacks are so retarded that's why they haven't exterminated themselves or us. They're horrible shots. They don't know how to shoot guns. They don't know how to do anything. That's why they eat chicken tenders out of Kool-Aid.
That's why the only seasons y'all know is salt and pepper. See, y'all don't know nothing about seasoning. Y'all don't know nothing about complex flavors, huh? I bet you ain't never dipped your fries inside a shake. I bet you ain't never done it.
Okay, not a big threat. Not a threat in a proper country where the law was enforced, okay? I know this has been a long rant just on Mexicans, but I've had it to here. And I want to tie in, the UK's problems are our problems, just a different flavor.
Well, if the UK problems your problems, why don't you all gather together, right? Why don't you take your ass back to Europe and help them fight the good fight? All right? Go save your homeland. I don't know why you're sticking to this colony anyway. You're about to lose it. You might as well go back home and recalculate.
They get halal, we get beans and tortillas.
Nigga, y'all be having Taco Tuesday like shit. Get the fuck out of here complaining about that shit. You know you love that shit.
With a side of human sacrifice.
Fuck them. Again. Fuck them. Them and you is not friend. Fuck them. Them no need to be in your life. So why you making them cause you nothing but trouble and strife? Fuck them.
The texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.